Hello and welcome to the Long Island Weather Update. Now, look, it is 10 o'clock on May the 12th, 2024. It actually turned out to be better by the afternoon. The rain was just in the early part of the day. We're going to just go over the whole weekend in review here because, as you know, obviously Friday night we had that aurora, and yeah, it was pretty spectacular. Again, just showing you a few of the pictures that I took of it. Really, really impressive. And yeah, there's really, I mean, I could actually enhance this a little bit. I just have it. This is straight out of the without any enhancement, but this is really, again, really impressive to see that G5 magnetic solar magnetic storm, something we hadn't seen in 20 years here, and we're lucky that the skies cleared out and we were able to see it. And hopefully you did too Friday night. Now Saturday actually turned out to be a pretty nice day. And unfortunately I was staying up too late to go out, see the aurora, but I did actually go to Hempstead Lake State Park. It was a nice cool breeze, just some wispy cirrus around, very nice, and it was pretty nice seeing all the trees all greened out and everything. Very, very nice. And then even in the neighborhoods in Rockville Center, really, you can see again that wispy cirrus. And the cirrus kind of increased as the day went on. You could sort of see it over here. The increase, you could see some of the lower clouds. But the cirrus was really very unusual on Saturday. And beautiful day, but very unusual looking cirrus clouds. I mean, look at these cirrus clouds. I don't know if the aurora had something to do with that, but that, again, really unusual to see clouds that look like that. Really unusual. Now, as far as Saturday's highs go, it was a cool day, so highs were only in the upper 50s to low 60s across the entire area, and lows at night were only in the let's see, had generally mid 40s, low to mid 40s across the area. So, it was a chilly day on Saturday. So we'll go over the climate statistics for Saturday, and today was even chillier. So we'll go first. We'll do Saturday first. Saturday we had a high of 58 and a low of 45 at Islip. That was it. And that was 6 degrees below normal for the day. And Central Park, well, we'll talk about Central Park in the next. So the current, as far as today goes, you'll go to Central Park. Do that Central Park. I'll do it a day at a time here. So Saturday, again, we had, that's actually today's. So let me go to Saturdays. Saturday reached 64, so it was a little warmer inland. 64, high of 64, 47 is the low, but still 6 degrees below normal as far as the temperatures on Saturday. They were even more below normal, so it's nice. This nice cool weather that we're having is really very pleasant. Now, as far as today, we did have some showers in the morning. They cleared out. You could see we actually had some sunshine, breaks of sunshine. Still some clouds around, patchy clouds. And maybe some high clouds. Now, we do have an update here. We're working to restore image production, so it sounds like something happened. It's probably due to the solar storms. And, oh, yeah, one of my viewers brought this up. The fires are going again, folks. So you can see we do have clear skies over us, over the northeast, but you can see, look at all that smoke that's coming out of western Canada. The fires are back. And then look at that. We still have the Pacific Jet. Here it is again, going across the country here. Coming out of the Pacific, bringing yet another storm that we'll have to deal with on Wednesday. So let's go over our current conditions right now across the area. And we will go and we will take a look at our observations right now. We have temperatures generally around 50 degrees, upper 40s to around 50 degrees. Islip, 48 degrees. And again, we have a light onshore flow today, so it stayed cool, and looks like highs were only in the mid-50s across Long Island. Most everywhere was only in the mid-50s, even the city. We did have the cloud cover cleared out in the afternoon. Lows today, 39 at West Hampton, mid-40s, mid to upper 40s everywhere else. I'm sure that's below normal. Again, so let's go to our climate statistics now for for today at Islip. And today we got up to 56. The low was 48. The high was 11 degrees below normal, and the average for the day, 6 degrees below normal. Central Park got up to only 55 as well, a low of 48. And they were 10 degrees below normal for the day, 16 degrees below normal for the high. So this is quite unusually cool weather. It's, enjoy it. It's rare that we have temperatures that are below normal. Enjoy it while it lasts. It does come with all these rain chances that we have to deal with, but at least today, the rain got out of the way for the rest of the day. So let's take a look. Oh, yeah, rainfall, probably not much, only 0.15 at Central Park. Islip got barely anything, only a trace. So the rain was mainly off to the west today. So let's take a look at precipitation here. As yet another JFK arrival goes over my head here. Oh, yeah, that's a loud one. And you'll see here that they love to put them over Mineola. Well, as you saw in my other video, Mineola has no political worth, so not a surprise. Like I said, it doesn't bother me that much. I'm kind of interested in the plane spotting, but for most people, it's annoying, and it's going to detract from the desirability of an area. All right, getting back to the weather, though. Not a whole lot of rain, just around 1/4 of an inch around New York City. Other than that, this rain didn't really amount to very much today. Fortunately, stayed fairly dry for your Mother's Day and pretty pleasant. So, especially by the afternoon. So hopefully everybody had a happy Mother's Day. Looking at the weather map right now, you can see high pressure is now in control of our area, and we will have fair weather for tomorrow. But unfortunately, it won't last because you see that storm system in the central part of the country, and that slowly makes its way east toward our area. So let's talk about the wildfires, because one of my viewers told me about them. Unfortunately, they've started back up again. So let's go to the, I guess we'll go to the Canada one. You can see what's going on here. Oh, yeah, we have a lot of smoke coming out of Western Canada right now. Look at all that. That's very visible. So right about, looks like Alberta and maybe British Columbia. These fires are coming out of. So let's go to the MODIS satellite. And we'll take a look at the MODIS satellite, because we're going to have to deal with that smoke eventually. So you can see it here on the MODIS pretty well. Yeah, it looks like these are in, let's see, we get an area. British Columbia and some, again, in the Northwest Territories, it looks like. So here we go again. And this wildfire season could wind up being a lot worse than the one we had last year. And the one last year was bad, but, they got even less snow, and it was even warmer in Canada. So, and all the rainstorms that we're getting, well, they're not hitting Canada. So this is something we'll have to watch for later in the week. But anyway, let's go to the other thing we want to talk about, obviously, is the solar storm. There's another hit of it tonight. However, it's only going to be G3, so I don't expect any auroras to be seen in our area. They're saying mainly G3 is basically affecting the area right now. Looking at the K index, yeah, we're not that high, so I don't think we're going to see an aurora, unfortunately, tonight again. But we were lucky enough to see it the other night. But if you're up in Canada, you will, but only in the northern areas with the G3. We need a G4, G5 to be seen in our area, and right now, this is the aurora forecast. You can see not even close to our area, so I don't think we'll be seeing it, unfortunately. So we'll close this out, and we'll talk about the weather patterns that we're going to be having coming up. So let's look at the models here. GFS, well, we will start with that, and we will, of course, take this out to the North American view here. And we will go ahead and look at the jet stream first. So we still have this messed up jet stream pattern here going into this week. We have a little bit of ridging here this week. So we have a little fair weather, but then here comes the next storm, which you can clearly see for Wednesday. One thing you don't see is a fire hose, but what you do see is that Pacific jet still continuing to bring moisture into the country for storms. And so we still have this split flow, very disorganized split flow that we have, with a lot of troughs still in the east. No real big ridging in the east with this pattern that we are experiencing. Go to the 500 here, and you'll see, again, that kind of pulls out. We have a little bit of weak ridging, and then here comes the next system for Wednesday. And then a little bit of weak ridging, but then here comes another trough again. So with this kind of pattern, it means cooler than normal, but also on the downside, wetter than normal as well. No real big ridging. Very unusual jet stream pattern we have. But again, this is what we're in, unusual weather. So let's go look at the European, and I don't think the AI does the upper air, does it? I think we have to look at the regular one. I don't think the does the AI do the upper air? I don't think it does, right? Oh, it does do the upper air. Good. So we don't have to use the can use the AI one because it goes further out. And this is generally the main European model now that's being used is the AI. Yeah. So we'll take a look and see what happens here. It doesn't show us the jet stream, but you'll see again. There's that weak trough. And yeah, it's just look at that big trough. The Euro is a little less troughy than the GFS, but still showing. And with that trough in that type of setup right there, that is going to keep us in a kind of maybe somewhat of a zonal flow. We'll have to see. Let's go look at the surface and see how this all correlates now. So I'm going to put this back to the surface here. Well, actually, before we take a look at the surface, we usually look at our temperature anomaly chart now. The AI actually does temperature anomalies, so we can actually look at this and see, show you where the warmer weather is going to be. I'm going to keep it on the North American view because of what's going on in Canada right now. So you see temperatures go a little bit above normal in the east. Here's the European actually is warming us to a little bit above normal. The AI is anyway. And then you see some below normal temperatures in Canada around that time. So maybe that'll help with the fires a little bit. This is the AI Euro. Now the GF. Let's go to the operational, just see how the operational looks. Now, see, the operational is a little different. It has the below normal temperatures. Yeah, it does have the above normal temperatures, but not quite as dramatic. GFS, I'm more of a GFS guy, unfortunately, than the Euro. The Euro just hasn't been doing well, in my opinion. So GFS, not showing the same level of warmth that we have. Mostly temperatures near average. And you'll see that we do have some above average, mostly in the Midwest and then also Western Canada. No real relief for them until maybe we get toward the end of the period. So that's the other thing that we have to worry about. And meanwhile, because of what's going on, let's go look at the total accumulated precip and see. I'm going to run this all the way to the end. So it kind of shows you. It does show rainfall in British Columbia. It does show rainfall toward the end. But you'll see some areas of Canada remain kind of on the dry side. So we're still going to have to watch for these wildfires, unfortunately. And so let's go now to the surface map. Did all that, and we'll go to the surface. So that's actually not the one I want to use. This is the one I want to use. Okay, this is the precip rate. So this is going to show us what we're going to be dealing with here. So dry tomorrow, high pressure's in control, and then it starts moving away Tuesday. And then our next chance of rain is going to be Tuesday night and Wednesday with this next low pressure system. It moves out, but still not really a big, strong high behind it. And then look at this. Just in time for the weekend, it looks like this is going to be transitory, so chance of rain, and then improving conditions. And then here's another chance of rain around Wednesday, the 22nd. And then it builds a really big high down over there at that point. Going to the European, I mean, it's not terrible. I mean, there's some rainy days in here, but not as bad as it was looking earlier in the period. Let's go to the European AI. So we'll go to the AI European and see what it shows. So here's that Wednesday storm. Europeans being a little more intense with it. And then, yeah, this is the European looking not as nice as the GFS. Has another system to deal with on Saturday. And then another system. So it has a bunch of systems. So this AI European seems to be a lot wetter. And if we were looking at the total accumulated precip on this, yeah, it would give us 3 to 4 inches of rain. I'm hoping that's not right. We'll go now to the operational European. I'm using all of these different models here. Let's go to the operational and see how this pans out. So this is the operational European. And the operational European, you can see there's the storm system there. And unfortunately, the operational just has it lingering around literally Wednesday and even into part of Thursday. It just cuts it off. Um, and then here comes the next system for Saturday. So yeah, Euro's definitely a lot wetter and a lot more miserable. I hope this is not right. Because if this is going to be a lot of misery and a lot of rainy days here, both the operational and the AI Euro. It's the AI that doesn't have total. Oh, it does have the total, but you see what I mean. All right, so there's definitely a difference in here, and I guess if we've got to go back to the upper air and kind of figure this out here and show the difference. So yeah, the Europeans got much more troughing, and it cuts them off more. Whereas if you look at the GFS, it's definitely less in the way of trophy. It moves things along much better. I'm hoping the GFS is right, because if it's not, we're going to be dealing with a lot of misery here. We can look at the older GFS run. I'm kind of curious if the older one does the same. That moves that low right along. But it does have that second system for Saturday being a little more intense, the 12Z run. So, and then, yeah, there's the next system for Wednesday. So, yeah, it seems like the 12Z definitely has more systems as far as rain goes. Total accumulated precip. Oh, yeah, it's soaking us. So, you can see there's a big difference between, huge difference between the 12Z and the 18Z run. So, there's a lot of volatility is what this is telling us. So, while nothing is certain, the worst case scenario could give us quite a rainy scenario, which is not something I'm going to be too happy about. If you're in Flagstaff, you're not going to be dealing with too much of that rain. You may see me disappear and go to Flagstaff. I don't know how I'm going to afford it, but, I guess maybe I worry about that problem when I get there. If that pans out. So we do have differences in the runs. This is why I guess maybe it's not a good idea to use the intermediate runs. The 12Z is definitely up. Well, why not a smoke alarm? Yeah, my neighbors have set off the smoke alarm again. Isn't that lovely? But you'll see here that that's like a totally. You see the 18Z just moves it along. The 12Z slows it down quite a bit. So it's all about the speed. And if we, again, go back to the upper air, I guess, on this, it cuts it off a little more and slows it down. And that's the difference between the two. I usually use the 18Z because it's just the latest run, But there are differences between the two, and that difference can, in the long term, make a big difference. One thing we're going to be certain about, though, is that we're going to have to deal with a rain event Tuesday night into Wednesday. Let's go to the icon. That'll be the next model to look at. I'm spending a lot of different time. Usually the models agree or have some type of agreement, but we have a lot of variation. It takes me more time to go through them all. One thing tomorrow's going to be nice, and you better enjoy it, because once we get toward Wednesday, again, we're going to have to deal with this low pressure system here off to the south. And icon also a little bit slower. Icon, though, is different with the weekend system, kind of suppressing it to the south and having a high build in over here. So you see there's a lot. Every model has its own. It's impossible. It's really impossible to know what's going to happen next weekend. It could be just a passing shower, or it could be a washout. But, I mean, no really big ridging, lots of storms. Not really, I mean, it's kind of gloomy on some of these runs. Some of these runs paint a much more gloomy scenario than other runs do. So let me get this down now to the local level, and we'll go ahead and look at the HRRR, our short-range model here that we will go ahead and look at, and I will first start with the dew points and wind flow. So here is the dew points and wind flow, and we see we have a west wind, dry air in place tomorrow. Maybe it goes up a little bit tomorrow, and then it becomes more of a southwest wind, the sea breeze. So we'll probably see cooler temperatures on Long Island versus New Jersey. And then as we get into Tuesday, you start seeing the moisture level increase in the air here. And we have that southerly flow, and that's going to bring in the moisture for more rain. So looking at temperatures here on this, tonight we've got the mostly clear skies and light winds, so lows probably in the mid-40s, maybe some 30s in the Pine Barrens perhaps, if we get the radiational cooling. And then tomorrow Will be a warmer day than today. I think we'll see temperatures reaching probably the perhaps low to mid 60s. And if you're inland in Jersey, you could be getting up upper 60s, maybe mid to upper 60s. Maybe somebody will see 70. And then not as cool at night. And then we have even warmer conditions on Tuesday as we get into more of a tropical air mass. So this is showing temperatures probably in the low 70s inland and probably 65 to 70, probably central northern Nassau and 60s elsewhere. And then we go to the precipitation outlook here. And as far as tomorrow, it's a dry day tomorrow. It's showing some activity that stays to the north, a couple of sprinkles with just some instability there. I don't know what that is. It's a little troughiness, I guess. And then for Tuesday, we're dry until we get toward the evening, and then it's developing some showers and possible thunderstorms inland. So this is the latest HRRR. We can look at the soundings for tomorrow. It is showing a decent amount of clouds tomorrow. It's 16Z. Let's go to 18Z. Still showing a decent amount of cloudiness. So there's some disagreement on how many clouds we'll have tomorrow. But whether it'll be a crystal clear sky, I can't guarantee that with it looking like this. With a graph like this. At least that's what this model thinks. All right. Let's go to the GFS model, and we will look at how the dew points and wind flow set up for the rest of the week, obviously showing you that increase in humidity as you get to a Tuesday, and that's going to help bring in the rain. There's that storm for Wednesday. And Wednesday could be quite a miserable day with that storm there, northeast wind. You can see plenty of moisture around, and then behind it, it does exit, but you notice the air isn't all that dry behind it, even though we've got the northerly flow Friday, and you can see there's a lot of moisture in the air regardless, and this is the problem. We have this moisture in the air, and you can see just long range. It's just a lot of trying to get any dry air in here. Now you're waiting until Thursday, May 23rd. That's a ways away. Let's look at our temperatures here. And as we go into Wednesday, you'll see it starts cooling down because of the cloud cover and the showers. Though we do rebound a bit on Thursday and Friday. And then maybe the weekend we have some temperatures in the 70s. Actually starts to try to heat it up, but let's go to the 12Z run. Not nearly as warm because it's kind of having that rain around. So if we go to the 12Z run, you can see there's a big difference here. All right, so not really big warm-ups here in this future. Bottom line, we're not going to see it, not with this pattern. So no heat waves, that's the good news, but no really hot weather, but also not really a lot of just chances for rain and clouds, basically, with this kind of forecast that we have. Let's go and look at the clouds on the GFS, and we'll first start with this run here. So here's Monday, and you can see it's showing some high clouds. It's still showing some sunshine, but you better enjoy it because we're not going to see the sun Tuesday. We're not going to see the sun Wednesday. Maybe Thursday if it gets out of here in time. However, 12Z run, it does have it getting out. Both runs do have it getting out of here in time on Thursday. But then by Friday, we are back into the clouds again. And we're going to be sitting there a while for the weekend probably. And you can see what happens on the weekend. It kind of gets hung up a little bit offshore. This is, again, the 18Z GFS. But if I go to 12Z, it kind of has it lingering around. Well, Saturday would be the worst day for this. All right. And you can see a lot more clouds. So not a whole lot of sunshine. And again, look at the 12Z. Yeah, it's taking its time clearing us out. It really is. So probably, like I said, it's not going to be a great May. But we do have a few, nice days in there, so you want to enjoy them. Going to the RGEM now. RGEM is showing, it's showing some cumulus like developing in the late morning hours, and then it clears out again by the later in the afternoon, and then we have plenty more advancing high clouds for Tuesday, and then obviously we'll be stuck in the clouds for Wednesday. Let's go look at the NAM now. I'll go to the NAM 3, and we're going to use this to look for precipitation. Radar. So, right, this only gives us out to 35 hours. So here's tomorrow, and then it's not even going to show much of Tuesday's event. And obviously, if I go back to the 18Z, you'll see kind of an agreement here that we're going to see rain chances by the afternoon and Tuesday. And it could be some heavy rain, maybe some showers and thunderstorms as well. So, yeah, that's what it's looking like for later Tuesday. So we have one more dry day, and then we're going to be dealing with more rainy misery as we get toward Tuesday and Wednesday. That's right now what it's looking. Um, and we'll have a better idea tomorrow night, I guess. So get out there and enjoy the weather tomorrow, because once we get to Tuesday and Wednesday, it's going to suck. Um, so let's go and look at the Climate Prediction Center, and we'll look at the outlooks here that they have for us, and 6 to 10 day outlook, and you see much of the country is above normal. The best chance of above normal precipitation, I'm looking at the right for precipitation, are in the southeast, but still is above normal. And temperatures-wise, it has us with a somewhat of a chance of above normal temperatures as well. So they're thinking actually it will be above normal, despite the storms. 8 to 14 day, we go to near equal chances as far as almost like right on the edge of the above normal, below normal in the plains, and above normal still in much of the country for precipitation. Let's go back to the Weather Prediction Center, and this will kind of give us we can actually look at a QPF forecast here and show you where we're going to see. So I can do days 1 through 7. It kind of shows us where most of the rain is going to be, and you see it's putting a lot of rain over the southeast. For us, it's giving us maybe between 1 and 2 inches. So they're not too bullish on getting too many soakers on this particular forecast. If we go to the excessive rain outlook, you'll see most of that's going to be in the southeast as well. Nothing going on as far as severe weather tonight. Let's look at the Storm Prediction Center and see. There's a small marginal risk. Actually, there's a slight risk in the south. But I think as we go to tomorrow, I think that slight risk expands more to the south. And then day 3, we see that become a marginal risk. Nothing as crazy as last week right now, but we're going to have to watch it and see what happens with that. But other than that, I think we've reached the end of this weather update. So enjoy the dry weather tomorrow, because we will have to deal with more rain on Tuesday night into Wednesday. And we can look at this system here on the GFS here and show it to you here. And you can see it's going to be just a rainy, miserable. Looks like maybe it gets a little better later on in Wednesday, but we can still have annoying, sucky drizzle around, and just just more of this wet crap again. I'm so tired of it. I really am. I've had it enough. I hate the umbrella. I hate the rain, and I'm tired of it. And I just want to I don't want to deal with it for a couple of weeks. No rain for a couple of weeks would be nice. And I guess if I need that, I guess I have to go to Flagstaff. But anyway, thank you for watching, and have a good night.